Hey, how's it going? James here, and this is going to be just a summer/fall pickup video. This is all things that I should have actually done separate videos for over the past months. Sadly, just didn't happen. It's gotten to the point where it almost doesn't make sense, with the exception of just doing one big pickup video here. So let's just get right on into it, because for some reason people like to see what you pick up on your travels. Right now I'm going to start off with what I did in Portland here, or grabbed in Portland. This year I'd already owned the laptop, but I got it signed with multiple signatures from all the guests, and this is a pretty cool piece of memorabilia here for me. I mean, I could go out and buy a magnet or a postcard, no problem. But where am I going to get a memento like this of multiple signatures from all the people that I talked to and partied with at the event and restaurants and things? So, yeah, people might be thinking, oh man, how did you do that to a friggin' MacBook? I'm into this MacBook for very little money to begin with. I really don't have any attachment to it. Well, I do now with all these awesome signatures, but this is a 2011 MacBook Air. It's pretty outdated. Like I said, I'm into it for very little money. I bought it broken, and then I had to piece it together over like 6 or 8 months or whatever it was to get it into working condition. So yeah, that's a pretty cool memento though. I don't plan on getting rid of this now just because it's marked up with so much cool. Alrighty, everything in this pile here was P or GE. I can't say no to these whenever I find them stupidly cheap. The arcade hits. So this is Midway's Greatest Arcade Hits, Volume 1 on the 64. This was $5. Next up is the Super Nintendo control pad for the Nintendo Switch. This was brand new in the box. Sadly, I had to abandon it due to my luggage situation. I just wasn't able to fit it. So this was a really good bargain though. Eric of Mighty Q Dog fame, he ended up getting a few of these, and he didn't need, I think it was 1 or 2 of them, I can't remember the exact number, but he's basically like, if anyone needs one of these, I'll sell it to you for exactly what I paid. There was absolutely zero markup, and I was like, yeah, you know, I'm interested, and I went back to the hotel room that night, and I looked it up, and like, man, people are scumbagging these for a lot more than what Eric was asking, and he was selling it for legit cost, so that was really, really generous of him to hook me up with that, and so I really do appreciate that. And of course, the charge cable for it. This one here, Shinobi 2 on the Game Gear. This one here I have heard a lot about. This is supposed to be a pretty unique Game Gear game, especially for a Shinobi title, so I couldn't pass this up. Says 15, I'm pretty sure it talked the vendor down to 10. For $10, this was worth it. This is, I wouldn't say it's stupidly hard to find, but I've never seen it in the wild at a convention. I'm sure you can look it up online on eBay or whatever and get one today. It's not uncommon, but I don't see it an awful lot. Of course, I got my super cool badge and the leaflet and everything from the show. Those are neat little mementos. And again from Eric, SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy for the Nintendo Switch. This was a stupidly good bargain. It was on Amazon, US Amazon, not mine, for $10. So I put out a tweet saying, hey, can any of my US buddies hook me up, you know, and I'll pay them back for it. Eric jumped on that one. He's like, yeah, I'll get you a copy. And I said, okay, cool. I'm heading up to PRGE. I'll pay for it then. I get there. He would not take cash for this. I tried. The guy is so generous, he would not take my $10 for it. So, my much appreciation for that. Alrighty, this one here. Some of you may recognize this, some of you may not. But this is Puyo Puyo, or Payo Payo, or whatever. It's gotten more popularity now because of the Puyo Puyo Tetris or whatever that came out more recently. But this is, before Mean Bean Machine, this is the original, before they Americanized it over here. So, and I really do enjoy this one here. I got it for the Super Famicom. I don't know if I have my cartridge handy. Yeah, I don't. It's over there. But I got the Super Famicom version. I really wanted to get the Sega version because, like, I mean, I wanted to hear the soundtrack through the Genesis, get that Genesis tunage, because I figured it's probably got to sound a little bit different. And it's in beautiful condition, like, just miraculous. It doesn't even look like this thing was pulled out of the case at any point. Artwork, everything. So for 10 bucks, that was definitely worth it. And if I can dig it out here. Got the Japanese, or an adapter for the Japanese anyways. You can use a Game Genie, but this is an actual adapter that converts it that I got many, many years ago with a copy of Shadow Dancer, so I will have absolutely no problems playing this. Alrighty, and this was the big find for me. I was trying to keep the money, the cost down on things bringing back. This was a really good bargain. Between the two of them, I'm pretty sure the guy gave them to me for, it was like 35 bucks. He had no idea what he wanted for them. And I was like, you know what, this is worth the gamble. Savage Rain for the Neo Geo MVS. And the King of Fighters 2000 for the Neo Geo MVS. So these are for the arcade cabinet that I got downstairs. Sadly, I have not plugged either of these in. This is probably going to be a Christmas adventure. Over the couple of days there that I'll be off for Christmas, I'll be tearing into both of these. And yeah, definitely going to be doing some gameplay footage on these, assuming at least one of them works. I'm hoping. I mean, these things are fairly reliable, but you know, there's always that chance of getting one that's borked. Make a little bit of room here. Alright, this here was all from the Barrie Game Exchange. I was vending. It was insanely busy, my table. I literally got virtually zero footage. So, unfortunately, like an actual Barrie Game Exchange adventure video like I normally do just wasn't feasible. My table was slammed from opening to close. I really do miss doing that, so the next show I don't plan on vending specifically so I can do like a really good Barrie Game Exchange adventure video. Anyways, this is the wins of the day. This here is a canned ghost. And this is just a hollow piece of, this is cardboard and tin. And it's obviously Ghostbuster themed, and it's really, really cool. It's got a contents and a warning on the back for taking care of your ghost in a can. And yeah, this was actually from Bill of STC Pod. He ended up getting a handful of these, 4 or 5 of them. And I put on a comment for his video saying that I was interested in one of these, and like, you know, I'd like one just because I normally don't like shelf clutter, but this thing's unique enough that I thought, you know what, I kind of want one of those. And obviously Ghostbusters is a great friggin' film anyways. So he offered one up to me. He's like, you know, do you care which one you get off of here? And I'm like, dude, I don't care. I mean, he was being generous enough just giving me one. I specifically said, you know, the worst condition one you got is probably the one that I would pick anyways, because then it gives it a bit more of a, what do you call it, like old aesthetic look, like it's been sitting around in basement storage for a while. So this thing here, it's got some rust on it, and it's a little beaten. That's just the way that it needs to be. This is going to be a cool piece of shelf clutter. I wouldn't even call it shelf clutter. This is like shelf candy. This is the type of thing that I'd expect someone to come by and be like, hey, where in the world did you get something unique like that? Next up here, this was a purchase. I've been on the hunt for this for at least a couple years. And I found it, and I wasn't willing to pay the price. It was either someone had it for way too high, or they would have the box and the game, no manual, and I'm like, this thing comes in a cardboard box, so I really don't care about the cardboard box, unless you're going to give me the entire set together. If it had the manual, then I'd consider going for it. Other than that, cartridge only is fine, at a good price. So Gargoyles on the Genesis. Like I said, I've been looking for this for a long time. Really, really excited to get into this one. Vendor had 45, I got it for 35. I think that was more than fair. It's in remarkable shape, label-wise and whatnot. 35 bucks was reasonable on that for me. I mean, I was willing, being that I'd wanted it for a couple of years, I was worth paying the 35 bucks for that. Next up here is another freebie from Joe of STC Pod. This is a VHS Sega Game Tips video. I'd never seen this. Says exclusively from Post, so this is like hard to imagine that this might have come in a cereal box, but maybe it did, or that or a mail away or something like that. But these old VHS tapes, video game related, I actually enjoy archiving these literally just for archive purposes so that the footage isn't lost and I have a backup of the footage for myself. So if the tapes degrade over time, they just don't work anymore, I ditch the VCR and I don't have a way of playing these again. I do archive every one of these that I can find, and I think I'm up to like 4 or 5. I got a handful of them. Yeah, it's not even like just a sticker. It's actually like printed right on the plastic, so that's even kind of cool too. It's not just like, you know, a crappy sticker thrown on a VHS tape. Like, a little bit of care was put into this. So I definitely intend on archiving this and maybe making it available to people that ask for it in the future. I obviously can't post it on YouTube because that'd be copyright, but you know, I could maybe hook up people that I know in the club and whatnot. They need a digital copy of this for themselves to enjoy. You know, I can probably hook them up. This was, actually, you know, I'm going to go this way first. This was another freebie from Kevin, Buried on Mars. I am a massive, massive fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the first movie specifically. I absolutely adore it. I've bought it in every iteration that I could find over the years, and I've never seen it on movie CD. Yeah, movie CD. Never seen this. It's in a massive case. This is larger than like a DVD or Blu-ray or anything like that. Like, heck, you know what? This thing might even be larger than a Sega CD clamshell. This thing's massive. But yeah, he offered this up to me for free. He knows that I'm a Turtles fan, and he had no way of getting rid of it. I think he had, you know, some price on it, and he's like, you know, no one's ever gonna buy this from him. But I've never seen anything like this. It's got all the leaflets, which is kind of interesting. Movie CD and literature and, you know, way more than what you think you would need to play a friggin' movie. But I told him that I would probably never ever watch this. This is literally just something for the Turtles collection. But I think I've changed my mind. I think I might actually want to watch this now just to see how brutal or decent the quality is. Because I have no idea what to expect from something like this. And apparently it's on 2 discs. I don't know if that's 2 discs to watch the actual movie or one's like, let's call it bonus features or whatnot, but I think that this probably predates any of that. Yeah, this thing here doesn't take much. What are the system requirements? Windows 3.1 or Windows 95, 486 or 66 megahertz processor, 8 megabytes of RAM. That gives you just an idea just how friggin' old this is. But yeah, man, dig out an old junky laptop and maybe give this a whirl, just out of curiosity's sake. And this one here is the last one of the day. Vendor was asking 50, I got it for 40. Fantastic. This is one that's also been on my hunt list for a long time. Specifically this one, because I remember playing it as a kid on arcade cabinets. And that is the King of Fighters 96. So yeah, I got the King of Fighters down there, 2000 from Portland. This one here is a bit more of a special grab for me, because like I said, this is one that I grew up on. I actually remember throwing quarters in this as a kid. So to get this as an actual arcade copy for myself to play at home, that's great. And I've already plugged it in. This does work. I was stupidly excited to get this. As soon as I got in the door, I basically unloaded the car, plugged this in the cabinet. It works flawlessly, so I'm happy to report for 40 bucks, I got a childhood played arcade title. And last up is just the odds and ends that I grabbed over the period of time here. Let's see, from the Durham show, I ended up getting Bubble and Squeak. It says $10. No, Ryan gave me a deal. I think I might have even just paid him $5 for this. But yeah, Ryan Jenno, he's always been very generous to me in the past. And you know, same with me. Anything that he sees on my table, he knows that it's automatically discounted. So this is one that I've been looking for a while. Again, not quite as much as Gargoyles, obviously, but this has always been kind of an interest. So to walk into it for $5, that's cool. From the Portland adventure, I went to Vegas immediately after, sort of like a double-leg trip, and I knew I was basically going to end up with one of these. I took extra cash out to get one because it actually released in the United States before it came out here in Canada. And I've actually lost my Hero Session 4, which I had for years. I can't find the stupid thing. If it's lost somewhere in the house and I find it, I plan on selling it to recoup some of the cost of this. But the Hero 8 Black. So this is the newest of GoPro cameras. It's not they have a Pro 360 version, one that's more expensive than this, but they both came out basically on the same day or the same week, I believe. So that's a nice addition. The Hero cameras are really fun to toy around with, so to get one that's new and not been on the shelf for a couple of years, that's pretty cool. And yeah, there it is there on the selfie stick, or I think that's what the cool kids call these. Also, when I was out there, I bumped into a Razer store, and this is like an actual Razer retail outlet. And when I walked in there, I said to the guy behind the counter, like, hey, this is pretty cool. I didn't even know you guys had these stores. Apparently, there's only 4 of them right now operating in the planet, or on the planet. So that was kind of cool. Like, you know, I'm in a store that only has like 4 retail outlets currently. So I thought, well, I got to grab something that's going to be useful to me, but also not Razer's expensive. So I ended up with the USB audio enhancer. This here, you could put 2 microphone inputs into this little dealie here, and it outputs it into USB audio and combines the 2 together into one channel. So I thought that was pretty cool. So for streaming purposes in the future, if I need it, I already own one, and this was $20. Alrighty, nope, collectible card went on the floor, but I couldn't pass it up. River City Girls. I absolutely adored this when I played it earlier in the summer. I ended up getting it digitally because that's the only way you could get it when it released. Played the snot out of it. Absolutely thrilled with it. Still have not 100%ed it on the Xbox. I do plan on eventually finishing it that way though. And when I found out that there was going to be a physical release, I couldn't say no. I really did enjoy this game. One of the most fun titles I've played all year. And it came with a soundtrack CD as well with no extra cost. Neat little bundle. I cannot recommend this game enough. River City Girls. If you haven't played it, yeah, it's definitely worth a try. If you're into the old style beat 'em ups, this does not disappoint. Alrighty, we got Championship Bowling. This was from Justin's store in Oshawa. He does the Durham Game Convention. I went in there and I, chewed the fat for a bit and saw this. I'm like, I've never seen this in person. Like, what are you asking on that? I think he was asking now $10 or $15. Yeah, let's call it $10. I can't remember. I know it was definitely under 20. But it's in remarkable condition. The inside here, remarkable condition. This is another one here. Like, it looks like someone maybe bought it, put it in once, and then just put it way back on the shelf. But it actually looks pretty unique for a bowling title. I know that sounds a little strange to say, but both him and I were standing there in his store flipping through the booklet, and they've got a little bit of a write-up on the bowlers and stuff, and they tried to make it like, let's not call it story-driven, but stats-driven or something. It just looks like a really unique Genesis title that I've never seen. Like, I mean, I have no idea how common or uncommon this is, but I've never once seen it, ever, in my years of thrifting and hunting around at game conventions. So I was happy to add that to my shelf because it's pretty unique, cheap, and fantastic condition. Alrighty, and the last item here. If I can get this thing turned around without tossing it on the floor. That would make for a comical video, though. Alienware Aurora R8. Get back in frame here. Oh wow, this is gonna be difficult to get back in frame. Alrighty, yeah, there's zero production value behind this. Anyways, Alienware Aurora R8. My last computer that I bought Windows-based was 2 or 3 years ago off the top of my head. It was a used Alienware Alpha. Yeah, Alienware Alpha. It was already fairly out of date at that time, but still working and worthy. It's been my streaming PC for a while because I found OBS support to be complete garbage on the Mac platform. Yes, I am a Mac guy. So I normally do not spend near this money on PC-based hardware. But I figured for the price of this was going, I had to grab it. Basically, someone put this up on Kijiji. That's a local posting site for those of you that aren't aware of it in my area. And the guy was asking a very, very reasonable price on this. I was already kind of in the market for a new Alienware anyways. I was kind of waiting for, see, like a Black Friday deal. This was too good to pass up. It met all the needs that I wanted, plus it was on sale, well, on sale, but cheaper from a secondhand seller. It had a still valid warranty through Dell, which I was able to transfer the serial number to, so this is 100% legit mine. Dell knows it's mine. It's already been transferred over serial number-wise. I have a warranty. This was too good of a deal to pass up. This replaces the, let's call it, usable Alienware that I have downstairs currently for streaming. Like I said, it just barely met the requirements, and I mean just barely. It was a 4th gen. I bought it quite a few years ago, like I said, secondhand. It was not that much money when I bought it. I think the value of that thing actually went up after I bought it somehow. But yeah, so this was my big purchase basically for the year here. Way that I justified the cost of this, like I said, not only with basically, you know, needing a new computer, well, one that would be a lot better for streaming and whatnot, and, you know, I kind of want to, I've always kind of had an interest in PC gaming, I just wasn't really interested in paying the money for it. Finally bit the bullet, went with this, and hopefully the old signing bonus that I'm expecting at work comes in soon, so that this thing here costs me either next to nothing or completely covered from what was pulled out of savings. But sometimes you just gotta spoil yourself. Anyways, that is it for now. Thanks for watching, have a good one, and I will catch you next time.